Why play Sivir Bot? Well, she has amazing wave clear. Her poke is absolutely brilliant. She deals massive AoE damage in teamfights, and her spell shield gives her great outplays. However, she is shorter range for an ADC, and of course, as an ADC, if caught out, she is incredibly squishy. Sivir's passive is when she lands a basic attack or ability against an enemy champion, she's granted a burst of decaying movement speed. Sivir's Q is a straight line skill shot, which deals damage to all enemies it passes through, and when it hits max range, it then comes back to her dealing damage again. The damage is reduced for each non-champion hit up to a maximum of 60% reduction when 4 minions are hit. Sivir's W is an auto-attack reset, which for the next 4 seconds grants a bonus attack speed, and all of her basic attacks will ricochet onto nearby enemies. Each of these ricochets can bounce up to 8 times, and they execute minions below 15 health. Sivir's E grants her a spell shield for 1.5 seconds. If she's successful in blocking an ability, she's granted a heal and also the burst of movement speed from her passive. Sivir's ultimate grants herself and all nearby allies a good amount of bonus movement speed. Where it's not an insane speed boost, it does last 8 to 12 seconds depending on the rank, meaning you basically have it for the entire fight. While active, all of Sivir's attacks will also reduce her basic abilities cooldown, allowing you to absolutely spam them. Also, whenever she gets a takedown, the duration of this buff is reset. For combos, your very basic go-to is to attack into W and Q and attack away. And this is the same if you start with ultimate, where you ult into an attack in W before using Q and attacking away. Of course, using spell shield to block any harmful effect. For matchups, Sivir can struggle against champions who will always outscale her if the game goes too long, but she's amazing into some of the earlier game champions, negating their early game and outscaling them. For runes, take this. Lethal Tempo with Gathering Storm secondary is too good. For build order, start Blade and Pot into Wild Arrows and Tier 2 boots. From here, an Inveg and Flicker Blades are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Barrier. For synergies, she's great with supports that can peel and protect for her. So tanky frontlines with stuns or enchanters with heals and shields all work well. Starting the game as the ADC, your focus will always be on farming hard to scale into a late game god. You are one of the most frustrating laners to play into, as your opponent won't be able to help but get poked. Your Q and W are both great at pushing and controlling the wave as you need it, so it's incredibly difficult for your opponent to ever push you in to give themselves priority. And of course, if your opponent's ever near the minion waves, your W will simply just start chunking them. This forces them to play away from their own minions, which then means there's no minions to mitigate the damage from your Q if you can land it directly on top of someone. All the meanwhile, your constant speed ups make it very difficult to trade back into you, and your spell shield's just so good at stopping hard engage. Entering the mid game, take your tower as soon as possible. This will put you and the support in the center of the map for easy sieging and pushing of the mid wave, and this also starts getting you into those earlier fights which you love taking part in. Entering late game team fights, you deal massive AoE damage as the backline hyper carry. Use your ultimate over as many allies as possible and then sit back and spam out Qs and Ws across the entire team. As long as you can keep attacking, the AoE damage you do is silly. And that's how you play Sivir Bot. If this video helped you, leave a like and comment below who you want to see next.